Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and this is Expedition 3 Pages. I am just gonna cut right to the chase and tell you guys that you won this round of Tales from Two Trails. I'm telling you because there was no suspense. We knew that it was gonna happen. There was no point in going through the whole thing, pretending like we didn't know it was gonna happen. I will go through the prompts and the challenge and everything so we can find out what everybody read and the pictures that everybody posted and everything like that. So yeah, we will go through everything. I'm not gonna lie, like when it became clear to me that you guys had definitely won, my enthusiasm to read the books that I was reading on time did wane a little bit. So there were books that I didn't finish that I probably could have finished on time, but I haven't done. But I will tell you what they are and how far into them I am and everything like that. So the first prompt that we got was to read a parody. And for this, I did really want to read Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, but I just didn't get around to reading this one. I was going to listen to it and I was really excited about it actually, but sadly I didn't manage to get to it. But yeah, this is what I would have read if I had been more disciplined. Okay, so for you guys who finished the prompts, first up we have Amy, who read Your Guide to Not Getting Murdered in a Quaint English Village by Maureen Johnson and Jay Cooper. Dee read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Serpents by M.J. Ware. Whitney from Tibbura's Den read The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by John Seisker. Amanda from the Reading and Writing Life read The Light Fantastic by Terry Pratchett. Michelle from Reading on My Breaks read Don Quixote. Oh, I should know the author of this book and it's escaped me, but yeah, Michelle read Don Quixote. Amy from AStar Reads read Northanger Abbey, which I should have read, by Jane Austen. So yeah, that is 6 people, so you definitely fulfilled that prompt. Prompt number 2, I got TBR jar, and so I ended up pulling Love and Archaeology by Fabio Fernandez, and I think I did definitely start this one, and I think I read 2 or 3 of the short stories, which I did actually enjoy. I was enjoying them and I would definitely like to carry on reading that one. It's just that I didn't manage to finish it this month, so yeah. And for you guys, so we had Karlie, who read What You Did by Claire McGowan. Michelle S. read Break of Day by Coleen Cobble. Casey Undercovers read The Sewing Girl's Tale by John Wood Sweet. Dee read Fat Cat by Rachel Vincent. BookWyrme Lynn read This Thing Between Us by Gus Moreno. Cats and Books read Spy Family Volume 9 by Tatsuye Endo. Jenny Reads read Black Girl from Pyongyang by Monica Marcius. Michelle from Reading on My Breaks read The Verifiers by Jane Peck. Yeah, so 8 of you read from TBR jar pick, straight randomized pick. Prompt number 3, we got Goodreads feed or a social media feed. You have to go through and find just the first book that you see that you own or that you want to read that. That was explained terribly. I picked, or I saw, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and I am listening to this and I'm definitely going to finish it before the end of the month, but I haven't finished it yet. I've got 4.5 hours left. So I put it up here because I'm listening to it, but it's absolutely brilliant. I'm having a really good time with it and I'm very intrigued as to where it's going and what's going to happen. So yeah, I have my hopes on what I hope is going to happen, but I don't know if it will come to fruition. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this one. So I'm so glad that this prompt made me pick that up. Okay, so for you guys, we had Martine from Just Martine read When You Wish Upon a Lantern by Gloria Chow. Karlie read Bunny by Mona Awad. BookWyrme Lynn read Iron Flame by Rebecca Yaros. Cristilyn read Quietly Hostile by Samantha Irby. And Jenny Reads also read Iron Flame by Rebecca Yaros. Prompt number 4 was to read a seasonal pick. And so for me, it is like autumn going into winter time. And I'm going to use Great Expectations by Charles Dickens for this because I finished this month. And to me, reading Victorian novels, even though you can read them at any time, I do think there's something quite, I don't know, it sets in mind of like a dark library and cold and just, I don't know, like a leather brown armchair. This is what I think of when I think of these kind of books. So I feel like it's quite fitting to read something like this in autumn, early winter time when it is cold and getting that way outside. Even though this book spans many years and all kinds of seasons, that's kind of why I'm going to use it for this one. I did really like this book. I liked it a lot, and I listened to it on audio. It was narrated by Anton Lesser, and I really like him as a narrator. I think he's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I can highly recommend that. Didn't love this as much as Little Dorrit though, which is interesting because this is far more popular than Little Dorrit, I think. But I loved Little Dorrit, and I don't know if that's just because it was my first proper Charles Dickens book as an adult that I read all the way through, or if it's because it took me and my mum a whole year to read it, so I really felt like I knew all the characters because I'd spent a whole year with them rather than like a month with these characters. I don't know what it was, but I did like the story and I gave it like 4.75 or something, so I did really like it, but I didn't like it as much as I liked Little Dorrit. Still really loved it though. The way Charles Dickens writes is just mad. I just love the way he expresses himself and describes his characters and describes situations. I think he's really clever. Okay, so you guys, seasonal read. First up we have Nat Cat's Bookish Cafe, who read A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. Mars from Summer Honey Books read volume 12 of The Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Amanda R. read The Last House on Near This Street by Catriona Ward. Marleen read Verity by Colin Hoover, with Cassie read Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. Heather Hutchins read Valley of Silence by Nora Roberts, and Amy from AStar Reads read Craven Manor by Darcy Coates. So yeah, those of you read for that one. So problem number 5, we got word of the day, and that was the word dapple. And for this, okay, so what I ended up choosing for this is a poetry collection that I finished this month, which is called Space Struck by Paige Lewis. And yeah, why did I pick this for dapple? Well, I'm going to argue that in space, it is dappled with stars. And so that means that I can use it for this prompt. This poetry collection, I'm still trying poetry again and again and again, and I just think I'm just not, I don't know, maybe I should be reading 1 or 2 poems at a time rather than trying to read a whole collection, because I'm just not used to poems. I don't really know what I'm reading, or like the image, like, you know, the symbolism, the imagery, all of that stuff. I don't really know about it, so I wonder if I need to take it a bit slower, and rather than trying to read whole collections, just pick 1 or 2 from an author and then try and look it up on the internet and find out what is actually going on. Because yeah, it was okay. And actually the 3rd section I did enjoy more, but not gonna lie, I didn't really know what was going on in most of them. So yeah, I keep trying though. Keep trying. So for you guys who read for the word dapple was Nat Cat's Bookish Cafe, who read Silver Under Nightfall by Rin Chupeko. Amy read Exit West by Machine Habib. Casey Undercovers read Voyager by Diane Gabaldon. Amanda R. read Fish Swimming in Dappled Sunlight by Riku Onda. Cristilyn read Vital Organs by Susie Edge. And Jessica read All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. Okay, and finally we have problem number 6, which was another word of the day, and we got queremonious, which is essentially to just be quite moany and complain a lot. And I was actually going to use Great Expectations for this because one of the characters in this could be described as queremonious. However, during this month, I actually read for a book club Lady Chatterley's Lover. Who wrote that? By D.H. Lawrence. And my gosh, Lady Chatterley's Lover was queremonious. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, I found that really hard to read. Like, I found it a tough read, mainly because it felt very negative most of the way through, which is interesting for what kind of book it was, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not going to go into it too much. But yeah, queremonious can definitely be said for one of Lady Chatterley's lovers. So yeah, on to you guys. First up we have Martine from Just Martine, who read You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. Marleen read My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. Whitney from Tipper's Den read Troublemaker by Leah Remini. Cats and Books read 5 Victorian Marriages by Phyllis Rose. Cassie read The Long Game by Elena Armas. Mars from Summer Honey Books read all 27 volumes of Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. Amanda read Lady Killers by Tori Telfer. And finally, Heather Hutchins read Dance of the Gods by Nora Roberts. Okay, so on to the challenges. I actually left someone out by accident last month, and so I'm going to include their image here. But basically last month we had the challenge to take an Instagram picture of a book outside, and Natalie from That Cat's Bookish Cafe did complete this prompt, and so I will put the lovely picture up here. It's a really lovely picture actually, I really like it. And yeah, thank you so much Natalie for doing that last month. Sorry that I completely missed that off. This month, coincidentally, we had the exact same challenge again, and this month 3 different people completed it, and those were Ashleigh from Ashleigh's Media Addiction, LeeAnna, and also Karlie. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody who completed the challenge this month. That meant that you could get your step forwards and win the game. I will post in the description down to their Instagram pages if you'd like to go and give them a follow. I, on the other hand, may or may not have forgotten to do the challenge, but as you can see, I mean, you guys have won 10 times over, so luckily for me, it didn't matter this month. And so, as you can see, I will show you the path out. You completed all 6 prompts, and so your character gets whisked away off into the trees at the end of the trail. My character, he didn't make it. He's just stuck on the trail somewhere. This is his home now. He lives here. He doesn't need another place to go. This is it for him. So well done guys, you absolutely smashed this round of Tales from Two Trails, you really did. And if you didn't know, I do have plans to change the game again quite drastically in the next round, and it's going to be teams based. It's going to be my team against my mum's team, and then you guys are going to be on different teams, or like, I'm not sure how I'm going to sort it yet. I need to figure it out, but I do want them to be equal teams. Doesn't mean you have to commit to playing every single month, but I do think it would be good to have equal numbers of team members. I don't know, I need to think about how I'm going to do it, but I'm very excited about it. It should be a lot of fun. So yeah, more information about that will be coming in January. So I found my outcomes in my trusty notebook that I wrote a long time ago, and it says, if you win, which you did, and you end on the red path, then you get to decide either you get to pick my reads for the whole of January, or I pick from my TBR jar. So yeah, it's entirely up to you guys, so please let me know what you would prefer down in the comments. Last time you won, you got to pick the books that I read in the following month. The only reason we're not doing it for December is because I want to play my December game. That's why we're going to do it in January. But yeah, when you got to pick my books before, I did say that you could choose any book you wanted and I would just buy the book. However, this time around, I'm not in the position really to be buying lots of different books that I don't already have. So I think if you do decide that you guys want to pick what I read for the month of January, then I will put a video out showing you all the books that I have that you can choose from, like Kindle, audio, and physical books as well. And then you'll be able to choose from the books that I already own what you would like me to read in January. And then throughout January, I will do a random comment picker that will pick someone's suggestion. So like before, you'll be able to pick multiple books. You don't have to just pick one. And then if I choose your comment, then I'll just be able to pick from one of the books that you suggested for me to read. But yeah, so we can do it that way. The other way is me using my TBR jar to pick books. So then it's the same books that you would be choosing from. It's just completely random. So yeah, do you want control, or do you want me to have the potential of reading something really random? Is essentially the choice. So yeah, if you would like to be involved, please do let me know if you would like to pick or if you want me to choose for my TBR jar. Just comment down below what you would prefer me to do, and then I will tally up the votes, and whatever the outcome is, I will let you know at the end of December. And if it is that you guys get to decide, then I will show you all the books that I have and own that you can choose from. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, because last time you guys got to choose what books I read. I had such a great reading month, so I'm kind of hoping that that is the way you go. I don't want to sway you, but that is kind of what I'm hoping for. Okay, time to explain all about this guy. This is my December Christmas book bingo game. So I'm going to get it here to show you, but essentially this is bingo. I have to be careful with it because, oh, the numbers fall off. You can see we've got a 1 here that's missing a number, and another 1. Now I need to find out what numbers they are. Okay, I'm going to put it down over there because the numbers keep falling off the little boxes. They're just these little stickers and they keep coming off, so not ideal. So I'm going to do a cutaway so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is my bingo Christmas TBR game, and it is called Where's Santa? Because Rudolph is looking off of the top of the box, wondering where Santa's gone. He's waiting for him so he can go down the chimney. In each box, there is a slip of paper inside with the name of a book on. The books that I have chosen are mainly quite short and slim. We have some short stories in there, we have some Christmas stories, we have some books off of my 40 by 40 list that I still need to read that are relatively short, and also some more wintry books. There is a Christmas romance in there, even though I don't like romance, I thought I'd give that a go as well. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And the game is I have the whole of December to try and read as many as I can. I'm going to pull a number from this little baggie here. This has got numbers 1 to 25 in on just little slips of paper like this. So I'm going to draw out a little slip of paper, and then say I got a number 1, I go to the number 1 box, I take it out, whatever book is in that box I have to read, and when I complete it, I can spin the box around and it will become a red space on the bingo board. And the idea is to try and complete the board by the end of December. But just like bingo, there are going to be some rewards depending on if I get certain things. So for my birthday, way back in June, I received some money for books, and I've never spent it because I have been trying not to buy new books in this last half of this year. So what I did was I wrote a list of books that I have been wanting to buy. I've had my eye on them for a while, and I gave it to Spencer, and he chose 5 different books off of that list that I don't know what they are, and he ordered them for me, and he's wrapped them, or he's going to wrap them, and they're going to be incentives to get through this bingo TBR in the month of December, because every time I reach a new milestone I get to open one of the books. If I don't reach any milestones in the month of December, then I have to wait until January to receive my books, which of course is good anyway, because then I still get them. I mean, I bought them myself, but the incentive is to get through the books on the bingo board so then I can open my presents before January. So there are 5 different ways that I can receive one of the presents. The first way is for my very first 5 in a row that is horizontal or diagonally. So either one, the very first one that I get to open a present. The second one is if I get a 5 in a row that's diagonal, then I get to open another present. That can come first, it doesn't have to be second, but that's the second way I can open one of my presents. The third way I get a present is if I get all 4 corners, because that, I think in a usual bingo game, I think that's a rule. If you get all 4 corners, then that's a bingo, so that's another way. If I get the cross, so both diagonals, then that's the 4th way. And the 5th way I can get a present is if I get everything on the board red, and every single box has turned red. In some of the boxes there are also extra things and not just books in there, and these are challenges that I have to do. And the thing is with these challenges is I actually made them about 2 years ago for my very first TBR game that I ever made, which was TBR Trail. So for those of you who have been here a while may remember TBR Trail. I absolutely loved that game. It was really fun. It was just like, it took like a year and a half to finish one game. It was unsustainable. It was so complicated, and it was basically based on Ludo or Frustration, that kind of style of game. But I put a clip here, and for the Christmas version 2 years ago, I made these little presents, and as I went around the board I could collect the presents, and the presents were challenges that I had to do throughout that month. And when I was going through my like crafty drawer when I was making the bingo box thing, I found 14 of these presents that I never opened, and so I've just added them. I got Spencer to add them into the boxes, so I don't know where they are or where they're going to pop up. But yeah, 14 of the boxes have these little challenges in, and we just get to find out together what they are, because I cannot remember what I wrote on them. I will have to reserve the right to just disregard them if they're irrelevant, because obviously I made them for another TBR game, so I'm hoping they are relevant, and I think they are, but there is a chance that they won't be. There is another thing that is going to be in one of the boxes as well, and that is because, as I mentioned earlier, the game is called Where's Santa? And so I am going to be seeking Santa. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, there he is. Little Santa is going to be hiding in one of the boxes. Basically, Spencer is going to hide this in one of them, so I won't know where he is. And if I pull him out, that means the next time I pull a number, I don't have to take it from this little baggie, and I can actually just choose which box I pull out next. So if I'm very close to getting a bingo and I pull Santa out, then that means the next time I just get to make the bingo happen. So that's good. He's not going to go in for the very first pull, because if I pulled him out straight away, that would be disappointing. So for today, at the end of this video, I'm going to do my first pull and see which box we get. But yeah, Santa is not going to go into the game for that, but then after that Spencer's going to add him in a random box, and yeah, we'll see if we can find him throughout the game. Some of you guys have suggested prompts that I could maybe add onto the board for next year's Tales from Two Trails game, and I did originally say that I was going to incorporate those in this game, but actually I've decided I'm just going to try and make every single prompt that you guys have suggested work on the board, and I want to be able to design where it goes to try and make sure it works. So I was originally going to make it random whose prompts get added to the board, but I think it's fairer if I just add everybody's prompts to the board than picking them out. So that's what I'm going to do. I did want to say as well that this game has been heavily inspired, I would say, by 3 different booktubers. I know lots of people play Book Bingo, but I am especially inspired by 3 different booktubers who are very, very creative with their TBR games and things like that. I mean, there's lots of creative people, but these 3 are the in particular ones that I thought of when I started building this game. And those are Amy from AStar Reads, Amanda from the Reading and Writing Life, and Allison from Allison on a Book Break. So yeah, thank you so much to you 3, because I love watching your videos and your TBR games and stuff, and you really inspired me to make the Christmas game. So yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so now this is the very exciting point where I get to pick the first book that I'm going to be reading in December. It's interesting because like it's the 26th of November, so I wonder how impatient this is going to make me. Like, I do have reads left for the end of the month. I'm going to be reading Yellowface, going to be finishing Project Hail Mary, and Amy and I are still reading The Goldfinch as well. So yeah, I have got books to read, but pulling this out is going to make me want to read whatever this is. I know it is. But yeah, so let's find out what book I'm going to be reading first. I'm so excited. Okay. Let's have this one. Okay, let's see what number we have first. 23. It's quite a high number. Okay, so let's pull out box number 23. Oh, and there's a present as well. Can you see that? 23. Okay, I'm so excited. Let's see what the first book is that I'm going to be reading. It's literally the Christmas romance that I told you about. It's called Love in Winter Wonderland. I'm actually really excited about that because I'm glad it's like a Christmassy book, because I'm definitely in the Christmassy mood now. So yeah. Okay, let me just grab it and tell you who the author is. It's on Everend, which is what Scrib's called now. So yeah, let me find it. I saved it on Everend. So yeah, I have it on audio, so I'll put it up here so you can see. But this is Love in Winter Wonderland by Abiola Bello. And this book is a romance set in a London bookstore. And so that's kind of why I chose it, because I was like, do you know what? I don't really like romances, but I do like bookstores. And I am from London, so maybe if I like hear about streets and stuff that I usually like in a book. And so yeah, we're going to give it a go and see what it's like. Very excited about that. Let me know if you've read it and what you think. I would love to know if you have. Okay, and so let's open up the little present and see what this prompt is, or this challenge I should say is. I do think these are so cute, although this has been stuck together for like 2 years, so I know it's easy to get off. Okay, let's see. Whoop. Oh my gosh, okay. So my very first challenge is to bake a Christmas tree. I don't know if you can read that. Interesting. Actually, this is good that it's the 26th of November, because this means I can plan and pre-buy everything without wasting any extra time to get onto the next box. So this is good. I'm going to bake a Christmas tree, and I've got to decide what I'm going to bake. This is very exciting because I've got Bake a Christmas Tree and Love in Winter Wonderland, which is very Christmassy vibes. There are definitely some books in there that are not Christmassy vibes at all, so this is a good start to December, I think. Oh, and then I've got to put the number 23 back in the box, but on the red side. So this is our very first. There we go. 1 down, 24 to go. and not even one down because I haven't finished yet. So yeah. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're looking forward to the game as much as I am. I hope everyone is doing well. Well done for winning. Let me know what you guys want to do. Do you want to control my reads? Do you want my TBR jar to control my reads in January? And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Take care everyone. Bye.